Hello and welcome.
Game start.
And Caitlin Locke so far in the season, her ERA is a 4.07. She has a new record on the season. And she's given up 16 runs so far this season as well. And her batting average is a .304. But designated hitter tonight is Kelsey Meyer, number 30, hitting for Caitlin Locke. And number 1, Ashley Day, will be leading off the battling Bishops tonight as Morgan Brandt gets ready to take her place in the catcher's position. Ashley Day is an outfielder for the Bishops. She bats left and she's a freshman this year alongside her sister, I believe, is number 2, Taylor Day. And the first pitch thrown out by Locke will be a ball as Day gets ready to take her place again. First strike of the day thrown by Locke. Count now 1-1 with Day leading off for the Bishops. And she gets it, but it goes foul. Just doesn't even make it to the third base on that foul. Just got the top of the ball, it looked like there. She takes a couple of swings as the count is now 2-1 in favor of Locke.
And she hits it out, and it is another foul as number 29 is the next pitch.
Count still 2-1 as looks like out of the way of that as it came pretty close to her, but it did hit her bat and go foul. So still 2-1 with Locke on the mound and Day in the batter's box. And Locke, a very big windup for her. Definitely has a lot of power behind that pitch.
Oh, definitely. Ellen, what were you saying? That she's been starting 5 games?
This is going to be her 6th start of the year.
Sixth start of the year. She's definitely a force to be reckoned with for the Adrian Bulldogs.
Now the count stands at 3-2. Full count here as Locke takes some time to calm herself down for this pitch coming up today. She makes contact again, but it will go foul once again. You know, Jocelyn, interesting enough, she is a left-handed batter. Usually you see the right-handed batters hitting foul balls over to the visiting dugout, but she's still hitting them over there.
She's just having a hard time hitting direct contact with the ball today. Oh, and she hits it out, fly ball to number 2, and that'll bring up the next hitter, number 15, and Chelsea Denham from Ohio Wesleyan is up to bat.
And that out was made by number 2, the third baseman for the Bulldogs, Taylor Vantland. She's listed as a catcher/infielder, but she is playing the third base position today. The first pitch from Locke will be a ball delivered to number 15, Chelsea Denman. Denman, an outfield senior for the Bishops.
Oh, and she is hit by a pitch. Number 15's hit by a pitch, and she walks to first base.
Definitely not look like a fun time there for Denman for the Bishops as Locke is throwing some hard ones here. Just hit her in the shoulder, so she'll be feeling that one later for sure.
Yep, she's currently on first base, stretching out her arms, trying to shake it off.
And the umpire is going to give her some extra time here to talk to her coach, get her arm, make sure her arm's okay there. And up next for the battling Bishops is number 20, Sarah Flint, who is a right-handed batter but a left-handed thrower. And thrown by Locke, went right down the middle as Flint just watched it go. With the Ohio Wesleyan number 15 on base, first base, Deadman, after she took the walk.
And she goes for a bunt, but it doesn't get very far.
Count now 0-2, in favor of Locke, with Deadman getting ready on first to run.
And 29 throws it way out. That's another ball we have. And it just taps the tip of the bat. Number 20 hits it out for a foul. And we're going into the next pitch here.
The count is 2-1 to Flint. Deadman's on first with one out for the Bulldogs.
And yet another foul going out just over the home dugout.
Flint is the first right-handed batter we've seen today so far for the Bishops.
And number 15 on first base tried stealing second, but had some hesitation there, and she's still sitting on first base.
Flint gets ready for the 2-2 count. Here's the pitch by Locke. She gets a piece of that, but it goes foul once again, as Deadman once again second, but she'll have to go back to her first base off that foul.
And she hits it out, and it is caught by number 1, Brooke Stewart. She is a senior, local girl from Onstead, Michigan.
We now have number 10 for the Bishops, Erin Ferguson, who is a right-handed batter and a freshman, all the way from Connecticut. Ball outside, caught by Morgan Brandt, the catcher for the Bulldogs. 2 outs here so far in the top of the first inning.
Number 15 is anxious. She attempts to steal second, but is forced to go back to first.
Another foul tip for Ohio Wesleyan off Erin Ferguson's bat. Just got a tip of that there. She'll make the count 1-1.
Just outside again for number 29, the Adrian Bulldogs pitcher.
Good patience there by Ferguson to watch that pitch.
And number 10, Ohio Wesleyan, gets just the tip of that, and she's going to try here again.
Ferguson is hitting a average of .455 on the season so far. She's played so far for Ohio Wesleyan. At 33 at-bats, she's had 6 runs.
And number 10 has has walking to first, and that means that number 15 has advanced to second. The battling Bishops now have 2 on base today here at AC softball field.
And now up to bat is number 5, Taylor Dixon, a sophomore. First strike thrown by Locke. Taylor Dixon's hitting a .333 this year.
And she grounds. It grounds out to our short, throw to first, and that wraps it up for the first half of the first inning. The Bulldogs get ready to bat.
Ohio Wesleyan did have 2 runners on base, but luckily with 2 outs, the smart play by the Bulldogs to throw it right over to first to get that 3rd out and to end the top of the first inning.
Locke threw heat the entire half of the first inning. I thought the girls were having a hard time getting on base. They were just getting pieces of that ball, but she kept throwing hard and she kept persistent, and I think that's really what did it in for the first half of this first inning.
Yeah, definitely. You could tell how fast she was throwing, with a lot of girls just being able to get a tip of it. A lot of fouls that inning.
Definitely. And Locke, she is a chemistry major. She works hard in the classroom, and she seems to be working harder on the field out here today. I think it's going to be a great game today, and we'll see what the Bulldogs bring to the plate.
And the Bulldogs so far are 9-5 on their season, with the battling Bishops 7-5 on their season so far.
Warming up to take the plates is number 26, Jessica Sarch. She's an outfielder, a lefty, and a junior. She's from Aurora, Illinois, and she's ready here to take the plate, and hopefully we'll see some action from our Bulldogs here.
And on the mound for Ohio Wesleyan is number 20, who we just saw bat moments ago, Sarah Flint. She has a 3.8 on the season and a 2-2 record on her season. Usually you don't see many pitchers with such good batting averages as Flint has, but as we saw her not get on base, but she was up to bat.
Definitely. I think it for sure shows her diversity on the field, and sounds like a pretty well-rounded player. Hopefully our number 26 can battle it out and get on base.
Sarge takes her position in the batter's box. And the first pitch thrown by Flint is a strike. Looked a little low to me, but the umpire saw it in the strike zone. And a ball is the next pitch thrown. Good eye by Sarch to let that one go. Second ball thrown here by Flint. Once again, good patience shown by Sarch.
And she was going to go for it, but good thing she waited it out.
Her count now 3-1.
And she swings.
Definitely a little inside there, but she still swung at it.
And she swings at it again, and she's going to try to run for first, and unfortunately beat her to the base. That's the first out here in the second half of the first inning for the Bulldogs.
And here's Caitlin Hinojosa up, an infielder for the Bulldogs. She's at second base today from New Boston, Michigan.
She's a captain and a senior for the Bulldogs. She's been on the team for her entire college career. Let's see what she can bring to the plate.
She has the best batting average on the team for the Bulldogs this year, batting a .46 average. Pretty impressive there for Hinojosa.
And that was close. Caitlin almost is hit by a pitch here, but she shakes and she steps right back up. And it goes right to their shortstop. We have number 4 who caught it there for Ohio Wesleyan, Amanda Bull.
Now 2 outs for the Bulldogs, as it looks like it'll be number 7, Morgan Brandt, up for the Bulldogs, who is the catcher.
Morgan was just recently featured on AdrianBulldogs.com for her outstanding academic record and community service. Pretty well-rounded student and player. So the first throw is a ball.
Second one thrown out by Flint is a strike. But you think, that, Jocelyn, that, it was such a cooler day as you're used to playing softball, and especially I know the Bulldogs were just playing in Florida. This coolness has to affect the pitcher somewhat.
Definitely. It's the Bulldogs' first home game, and we are in Michigan, so the temperatures do get a bit cold. Hopefully our pitching staffs for each team will be able to battle the cold and the wind at the field.
It's now 2-1, the count for Brandt. She gets a piece of that, but it goes down and foul. The count now being 2-2 with 2 outs.
No Bulldogs are on base here in the second half of the first inning. Let's see if Morgan can be our first. And she gets a piece of it, and it's caught by the pitcher and thrown to the third out here in the second half of the first inning, and we're moving into the second inning.
So unfortunately, no Bulldogs were able to get on base that inning, but we still have a lot of innings to play here as the Bulldogs take their field positions.
And the score is dead tie at 0-0, so we'll see who can break that and get the first point there. Let's see what the score is going to be. Hopefully, I think it's going to be a good game.
Definitely set up to be a great game here today. Looks very evenly matched between these two teams, the Bulldogs and the Battling Bishops.
We went up against the Battling Bishops last year, and unfortunately, we were not triumphant in the doubleheader. We lost 0-12 in the first game, and hopefully that will not be the case today. It seems like the Bulldogs have come out and they are ready to play. They are definitely ready to win, and I think that we're going to turn it around for this year. I think we might take it.
Number 12, Lily Gresh, is warming up, an outfielder for the Battling Bishops, who bats right, is a junior, and is from Westerville, Ohio. Gresh is batting so far on the season a .345 average in 12 games played so far.
For the Bulldogs, number 29 is back up there, ready to pitch, and she's warming up as we speak. She's a Farmington Hills native, and she is also a junior here at Adrian College.
And here comes Gresh up to the batter's box as all the infielders for the Bulldogs gather at the pitcher's mound. Give Locke an encouraging pat here as she gets ready to throw out the first pitch of the second inning. So let's see what Locke can do against Gresh. Strike thrown out as Locke's first pitch of the second inning. Top of the second here. A good start for Locke to get it going here in the second. Ball is the second pitch thrown out. Right down the middle, a strike that Gresh watches go past her. Great pitch by Locke there.
It looked like she was going to hit it, and she hesitated just a bit, and it went right down the middle, and that was a great strike for our Bulldog number 29.
Count now 2-2. Here is Locke. Takes off the leadoff hitter for the second inning, Lily Gresh. Little high there by Locke. So the count will now be 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Locke strikes her out. First out here of the top of the second.
You can tell the girls are pumped to be playing their first home game. They're in the middle there, high-fiving, revving up. I think it's an exciting beginning of the season here as Locke manages to throw her first strike here in the second inning.
And she gets the first strike on number 11, a senior, Brooke Warner, for Ohio Wesleyan.
Number 11 from Ohio Wesleyan jumped back a little bit, afraid maybe to be hit by that pitch, but it just misses her, and she's up again to battle our number 29.
A big swing there by Warner. She misses it. Second strike of her count, as it is now 1-2.
Warner is a senior here for the Ohio Wesleyan. She's from Grove City, Ohio, and she went to Grove City Christian.
Her average so far in the season is a .292.
And she hits it far up, and it's caught by our senior, number 1, Brooke Stewart.
So 2 outs here. And the top of the second, no one on base for Ohio Wesleyan, as number 8, Jilly Jacoby, comes up for Ohio Wesleyan.
Julie is a freshman, so she's new to college athletics, and she's from Poland, Ohio. Oh, I'm sorry. She's from Northport, Alaska. It's a pretty far trek for Julie.
Wonder if she knows our roommate, Haley Papa, who's also lived in Alaska for a little bit.
I don't know. Maybe. It's a small world, Ellen. Small world.
Count now 1-2. As Locke has been able to throw 2 strikes so far.
And that is a strike for our pitcher number 29. And the Bulldogs are going to step up to the plate here in the second half of the second inning. Locke performed well again.
Yeah, definitely a great job by the Bulldogs and Locke as well in that second inning. 3 up, 3 down. Great to see.
Definitely. And Locke is probably still pumped up from that amazing country concert that we had here at Adrian College last weekend. According to her bio, she's a huge country fan, huge Jason Aldean fan, and Luke Bryan. So she's probably still coming off of that country music high we had here last weekend.
I wouldn't blame her. It was a great concert. Easton Corbin was phenomenal in his concert, as well as Old Dominion and Dylan Scott.
What do you think did the best?
Personally, I think Easton Corbin's performance was the best, but I might be a little bit biased as I know most of his songs.
Ellen is definitely a bit biased here. She's a huge Easton Corbin fan. Actually, had the opportunity to both meet Easton Corbin last weekend, and I think Ellen lost it there for a little bit.
Some would say that maybe I was the biggest Easton Corbin fan at Adrian College.
I think that's a reasonable assumption.
And now for the Bulldogs, leading off this second is number 4, Carissa DeVore, who is a left-handed batter. first pitch thrown out by Flint is a strike.
Carissa is actually right here from Adrian, Michigan. She's a junior, and she attended Blissfield High School.
And the ball goes foul down the first base line. Not able to stay fair, but probably a good thing it was not able to. It went right to the first baseman. Flint throws out a ball here as the count is now 1-2 for DeVore.
Is a utility player. It's interesting because she bats left, but she throws right, so. And she gets just a piece of it, and that is a hard foul right over the visitor's dugout.
If only she could have got that more on the middle of her bat there, that could have been gone.
That was extremely powerful. Hopefully we didn't hit any cars over there.
Oh yeah, my car's over there. I hope that's okay.
And she hits it pretty far out, and it is deep.
A home run here for DeVore to get the first score of this game.
And for it to be a home run, the Bulldogs are pumped up as she rounds third here and comes into home. This is a great way to start off this ball game.
That is actually DeVore's fourth home run of the season so far, as she is leading the Bulldogs. Previously had 3 home runs leading the Bulldogs, but now takes it to 4. What a hit by DeVore.
Clearly a power hitter on our team, and I think we're glad we have her at this point, as it's 0-1 here and going into the third inning.
And batting fifth now for the Bulldogs in the lineup is number 19, Rebecca Greco, an outfield junior from Dearborn Heights, Michigan. A ball thrown as a second pitch, count now 1-1. This looks like that ball kind of got away from Flint as she released it.
And the Ohio Wesleyan catcher just couldn't get a hold of that. It was and she just couldn't get a grip on it.
Right down the middle, that ball was thrown by Flint. Now making the count 2-2 for Rebecca Greco.
Oh, and it goes right past the pitcher, right down center field. And Greco rounds. Oh, and she stays here at first. She's building momentum here after that home run.
That went right past Flint. Almost got a piece of it, but luckily for Greco, she did not. She is now safely on first with number 2, Taylor Van Lant, who sometimes plays catcher but is also an infielder, as she's playing third tonight and is a freshman from the Clarksville, Michigan.
And she goes for the bunt, and successful bunt. Let's see if she can beat the ball, and unfortunately she's thrown out at first.
But she gets Greco to second base. Greco almost tried to go third, but she went back and luckily was able to slide safely into second. So
just in time. She just beat that ball.
So now Greco is now on second here with number 30 designated hitter Kelsey Meyer is getting ready. She is a pitcher generally for the Bulldogs.
And she hard swings, but unfortunately it's a swing and a miss.
Her batting average so far on the season is a .217 with 1 home run so far recorded on the season.
And she is hit by that second pitch there, and she's going to walk to first.
And still only 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. With number 1 up to bat, Brooke Stewart, who's a senior from Ontario. Brooke Stewart is sometimes a pitcher as well. But Locke is on the mound here tonight.
And she just gets a piece of it, but unfortunately it bounces right back under her, and that's a foul. We have Meyer on first and Greco on second. Let's see if Stewart can advance them to second and third.
A big swing and a miss there for Stewart, making the count 0-2.
And another foul ball for Stewart.
Count stays at 0-2 as Stewart goes back to get set up in the batter's box.
Oh, and Greco steal, and it looks like they've made it safely onto second and third. That catcher just couldn't get a hold of that ball, Ellen.
Yeah, Aaron Ferguson has had a hard time tonight so far, it seems, controlling that ball. And as it got away from her, luckily for the Bulldogs, as we were able to advance, so now on third and second base here. Another foul ball is hit by Stewart.
Stewart just can't seem to hit that ball where she needs to. It just keeps getting a piece of it, and unfortunately it just keeps getting away from her. And that is a clear hit to the number 5 of Ohio Wesleyan, and she throws out Stewart at first, but luckily Greco is safe at third still.
And that was some good playing there by Greco to be paying attention, and just looked like she onto that third base, making her safe there.
Yep, just as she was going to run off, she quickly leapt right back on.
And now batting for the Bulldogs is number 5, Caitlin Schneider, a senior.
Unfortunately, she is thrown out at first, and that'll wrap up the second half of the second inning.
But a great bottom of the second there for the Bulldogs with DeVore's home run there. She had that big foul ball to start out, but she was able to straighten that out and got it past the fence back there. Over the 200.
As Coach Anna Ball is out there, and she's trying to get some momentum going for the team. She's trying to get everyone excited, and this is her first season as an Adrian Bulldogs women's softball coach.
We also have a pretty interesting assistant coach for the Bulldogs. What do you want to tell us about her, Jocelyn?
Yeah, absolutely. Our assistant coach actually was... she went to Madonna University, but actually she was recruited by U of M to play college ball. Her name is Jackie Barley, and she's a Tecumseh native, so pretty local. She actually represented the U.S. as a World Cup softball member in 2008 in the Netherlands. So our coaching staff has some immense talent. Our head coach, Anna Ball, she's a Notre Dame College alum, and she also brings quite a bit to the plate here.
Definitely an impressive resume for both of these Bulldog coaches who have just started out this year. And now we have Locke getting ready to pitch to number 4,
That
Amanda
is a
Boyle.
hard swing and a miss from number 4. As we said earlier, number 29 is throwing heat today. It's hard competing with her.
Boyle is batting a .226 average. She hits it, but the Bulldogs let it roll foul, so she'll have to go back into the batter's box with the count being 0-2. She takes her position again in the batter box. A couple warm-up swings there first for Boyle.
Boyle hails from Niagara Falls, New York, and is a sophomore for Ohio Wesleyan. And she hits it hard, but unfortunately she hits it a foul right over our home dugout.
A lot of foul balls I've seen today that have been hit pretty hard, so those ones get straightened out. We have a pretty interesting ball game here.
And another very hard swing and a miss, and that's going to wrap it up for Boyle as we have number 1, Ashley Day, step up to the plate.
So back up to the top of the lineup for Ohio Wesleyan.
Day is a freshman from Plain City, Ohio, and she's a lefty, both throwing and batting.
There is a Taylor Day on this team as well, but they are not from the same hometown as Taylor Day. A freshman as well is from Urbana, Ohio.
Maybe we have some cousins on our hands, Ellen.
Quite possibly. Back for Ohio Wesleyan warming up now is number 15, Chelsea Denman.
And number 1 attempts a bunt, and let's see. Oh, and number 00, Caitlin, just misses that throw as number 1 and is safe on first base. It was a pretty successful bunt. We've seen now, I think, 2 pretty successful bunts here.
Yes, one for each team so far. So Day takes her place on first base, with Denman up to bat for Ohio Wesleyan. She hits it up,
and
it stays fair.
And that brings number 1 to second base, and then Ohio Wesleyan has a player sitting on first as well now.
And it looked like Day was ready to take off. Her coach held her up at second to be safe there. And here's the pitcher, number 20, Sarah Flint for Ohio Wesleyan.
Now Flint throws left, but she does bat right.
She goes for the bunt.
And it's a safe bunt. Let's see. And she's out at first.
Good cover there by Hinojosa to get that out at first. 2 outs, but Ohio Wesleyan has Day at third and Denman at second here. With number 10 up, Erin Ferguson.
If number 10 can hit it safe, then we might be seeing Day round home and possibly a scoring point here for the Ohio Wesleyan battling Bishops. And she hits it far, and it is caught by a Bulldog, Becca Greco. And so that rounds it up for the first half of the third inning.
Great there for the Bulldogs to get out of that inning without Wesleyan getting any score here, as they had runners in scoring position, but the Bulldogs able to get out of that inning clean. And make sure you also tune in tonight to ACTV at 7 p.m. as the Adrian College men's NCAA varsity hockey team will be taking on the Oswego State Lakers in the NCAA tournament quarterfinal game. It's going to be a great game here tonight. Oswego, coming in with a 19-3-3 record, and the Bulldogs, 19-4-4, and the Bulldogs coming in with a 23-3-3 record.
It is. It's gonna be a good game tonight.
Definitely going to be a good one. The Bulldogs did not have to play in the NCAA first round. Oswego did, however, and they beat Hobart College by a score of 6-1. Big win there by Oswego State. But the Bulldogs were ranked number 1 in the NCAA tournament standings, as they have been so good this whole season. Led by first-year head coach Adam Krug and first-year assistant coach Andrew Dovey, who both played here for the successful Bulldogs team. And head coach Adam Krug was named NCHA Head Coach of the Year. So a great season for the Bulldogs so far.
Definitely.
It's not over yet.
Our Bulldogs all around definitely know how to compete. And we have number 26 here stepping.
Flint throws out the second ball of the top of the third to Sarch. Third ball thrown by Flint.
Sarch has an interesting style about her. Every time that She's not planning on hitting the ball. It appears as though she runs up toward the pitcher a bit and then circles back around.
She'll take her base now, though, as she was walked. As Flint threw out the fourth ball. With number 00, Caitlin Hinojosa up now.
Number 00, Caitlin Hinojosa.
So there'll actually be a timeout called here for Wesleyan as the coach comes out to talk to Ferguson and Flint.
The Adrian women's softball team is coming off a loss from Wednesday night against Siena Heights. Siena's game was the first game since the spring trip, and unfortunately, the AC softball team lost 2-3 in their first game and 1-6 in their second. This is their first home game, though, so let's see if that can help them a little bit, give them the home game advantage.
Despite the cold weather here today, we have a lot of fans here for the softball game.
It is definitely a packed stand here at the AC softball field. We have a lot of, looks like, supporting parents and students come out to support our team.
So now after that, coach went and talked to her pitcher. Hinojosa hits a bunt. She gets Sarch to second, but Hinojosa unfortunately gets out at first. So now we have catcher number 7, Morgan Brandt, up.
Morgan Brandt is a member of the Alpha Phi sorority here on campus and a mortarboard member. Let's see what she can do here for the Bulldogs on plate.
First pitch thrown out by Flint is a ball. Makes it 1-0 with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the third, Sarch is on second for the Bulldogs. She gets a piece of that, but it goes foul. Looks like it went between her legs there. Making the count now 1-1.
The Bulldogs ended last season finishing 6th in their conference, and they finished 17-15 overall.
Strike thrown out by Flint, but looked a little bit high there. But a strike called nonetheless by the umpire. Adrian is currently leading their conference right now.
And that hit went right over the pitcher's head, and number 7 advanced to first. That pitcher, just number 20, she just couldn't get a hold of that ball. She jumped for it, and it seems like she made contact, but unfortunately it got away from her.
Number 4,
Now DeVore is up for the Bulldogs. She's already hit 1 home run in this game so far, giving the Bulldogs their 1-0 lead. Sarch on third, Brandt on first. As DeVore shows the bunt. And Brandt able to steal second there. Great heads-up play by Brandt.
The Bulldogs currently have a Bulldog on second and third.
DeVore gets a piece of that, but once again it'll go foul. Making the count her. With Sarch in scoring position. Pitch goes wide. Good eye by DeVore. Another pitch that goes wide, and catcher Aaron Ferguson throws it past the third baseman, but the shortstop was there to cover for her, so no danger of that.
And that hit went straight to Ohio Wesleyan's pitcher, and she's thrown out at first. But luckily, number 26 is safe at home base.
Great run by Sarge into home. Good slide there, getting safe. Making it now 2-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. With 2 outs, and Brandt is still on second here for the Bulldogs. With Greco up to plate. First pitch thrown out by Flint to Greco, is a ball. Second one is as well. Once again, another ball thrown. Ferguson not able to control that one either. Making the count now 3-0 on Greco.
Greco's favorite sports team is the Detroit Tigers. And she is majoring in accounting, so.
She almost went to take her base there, but the umpire called a strike. Making the count now 3-1. She gets a hard swing, but it is a foul. Full count now on Greco with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. With the Bulldogs leading 2-0 right now.
And she hits it
a far
hard.
one.
It is out of here. The Bulldogs have their second home run of the game. Greco is rounding third and coming into a team of cheering.
Good huddle there as Greco hits her home run. Now 3-0, or 3-0, Second home run of this game for the Bulldogs. That is Greco's second home run on the season. Batting now, number 2, Taylor Van Land, a freshman. First pitch thrown out by Flint is a ball. Van Land has to move out of the way of that one to avoid being hit by the pitch. Now 2-0. Another ball thrown here, 3-0. Fourth ball thrown as Van Land will take her base at first as she is walked by Flint.
And Meyer is stepping up to the plate again in her last at base. She walked to first. Let's see what she'll do here in her second at bat.
Catcher Aaron Ferguson goes out to talk to pitcher Sarah Flint for Ohio Wesleyan, try to calm Flint down as she walked yet another girl. Bulldogs now leading 4-0 in the bottom of the third. Bulldogs also have 4 hits on the night. Ohio Wesleyan currently has 2. A big swing there by number 30, Kelsey Meyer, the designated hitter here tonight.
And another hard swing for Kelsey Meyer.
Making her count now 0-2.
And yet another hard swing, and that will end the third inning here, and the Bulldogs are going to be moving into the fourth.
A lot of big sporting events here today, Jocelyn, for the Adrian College Bulldogs. The JV team is currently playing on Nikolai Field.
Yes, they are. It's hard to see from here what the score is, but I I'm sure they're doing well. The Bulldogs have a good record this year, both with their JV and varsity teams. Currently, the varsity team is battling Albion at Albion. I believe it's the top of the second. And actually, I'm sorry, it's the bottom of the third, and it's the end of the second. And the score is 4-1 in favor of Adrian. So we'll see if the JV team can also defeat the JV Albion team.
Good day for the Bulldogs so far. Still early in the day, but always a good day to be a Bulldog, though.
Definitely. The men's lacrosse team is currently in the fourth, and the score is 18-4. Unfortunately, they are losing that game, but this season, the men's lacrosse have been battling just like all the rest of our Bulldog teams.
It's definitely been a good sports year so far. The football team won their MIAA division this year. The Bulldog men's varsity team won the Harris Cup.
Our synchronized skating team did place and go to nationals this year, so that was also a great thing. It's always a great day to be a Bulldog.
Our figure skating team just won the Skate on Wisconsin event last weekend, getting first. My team went to nationals, finished third to Liberty, who actually won, so it's a pretty good stat for us.
And number 29 is pitching, and she's throwing to number 5. Number 5 is out at first, and that's the first out for the fourth inning here. And number 12 steps up to bat for Ohio Wesleyan. That's Lily Gresh. She's an outfielder, a junior from Westerville, Ohio.
It's great to see all the Bulldog players come in and congratulate Locke on that out. Good sportsmanship shown and great camaraderie shown on the field too. That'll be the second ball thrown by Locke to number 12 for Ohio Wesleyan, Lily Gresh.
And she hits it high, and let's see if the Bulldogs can catch it. And running into each other, they do catch it in the outfield. I believe that's number 26 out there who was able to catch that ball.
Yes, that was number 26, Jessica Sarch, who ran into number 5, Caitlin Schneider. Guess they did not hear each other calling for the ball out there.
And that is a strike thrown by number 29 to number 11, Brooke Warner.
Locke throws a ball, making Warner's count now 1-1 with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth.
Oh, and she hits it right to the pitcher and throws it to first, and she is out. Brooke Warner is out on first, and that wraps up the first half of the fourth inning.
Phenomenal pitching so far here Locke in this game, keeping Ohio Wesleyan scoreless so far going into the bottom of the fourth. Locke does have the most games played here for the Bulldogs, and we can see why tonight.
And the Bulldogs step up to the plate. We have number 1 here to go up against the Ohio Wesleyan pitcher. And she hits it past the pitcher, and it is thrown out at first.
Brooke Stewart will take that out there with number 5, Caitlin Schneider, a senior utility player for the Bulldogs, coming up to bat.
Had to move out of the way there.
But a strike is called, though, by the umpire.
She's crowding pretty hard. Depending on how far up she is.
She is very close to the plate there.
And it is a swing and a miss, and the umpire is signaling the second strike, the count of 0-2. It's pretty hard hit, but it is caught by an Ohio Wesleyan outfielder, number 12, Lily Gresh.
So 2 outs already with number 26, Jessica Sarch, coming up to bat. She ran in one of the Bulldogs' runs so far tonight. Looked to be a little bit outside, but the umpire calls the strike there. And that one was outside, and it was a ball here for Flint. 1-1 count to Sarch so far. Second ball thrown out. No one on base here for the Bulldogs right now. They have 2 outs so far.
You can tell early on when Sarch is going to decide to let the ball go by. As I said before, she just steps right up to the plate, and that's that for her. She knows quite early when she's not going to be able to hit that one.
Full count now to Sarch. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th.
And she gets a piece of it. Unfortunately, it's thrown to first, and she's thrown out. That is the end of the 4th inning here at the AC softball field, and we will be moving into the 5th inning.
Going into the 5th inning, the Bulldogs leading 4-0. They've had a great game up to this point so far. Let's see what they can do in these last couple innings here. Top of the 5th here with Locke getting ready to throw out to Ohio Wesleyan batter. Number 8, Jilly Jacoby. First pitch thrown out by Locke is a...
I think it's Gilly.
Jacoby is the Alaskan native, as we said earlier. She's probably used to a bit cooler temperatures for her softball games.
Definitely probably doesn't phase her here. It's probably a little warm here for her tonight.
She plays on a glacier most of the time.
And she takes a hard swing, and she takes a strike on that one.
Count standing at 1-2 now.
And that's pretty far out. That'll bring
Brings her count to 2-2. And a strikeout. Locke gets her. 1 out. In the top of the 5th.
And these players, they are excited to possibly get this win today. They will rush up to the pitcher every single time that she gets an out and congratulate her. As Ellen said earlier, it's a great sportsmanship and camaraderie out here today.
Number 4 takes the first ball, Amanda Boyle. She gets a piece of it, but it goes foul. It looks like our athletic director, Mike Duffy, was almost able to catch that one.
Duffy could have gone home with a AC softball souvenir today, but it just missed him, unfortunately. And yet another foul right over the home dugout.
Count now 1-2 on Boyle. As we said before, Jocelyn Locke doing a phenomenal job on the mound for the Bulldogs. Really bringing that heat in her pitches. Definitely would not want to be a batter having to hit that.
No, I definitely would not want to go up against her. Unfortunately, we now have Ohio Wesleyan batter on first, Caitlin Hinosa. Just barely missed that. Unfortunately, she just couldn't jump quite enough to catch that ball. Went right over her head.
Hinosa not very tall, as the ball just went by her. Not sure exactly how tall she is, but
I've stood next to her. I'm pretty sure about the same height. I think she probably will measure in about 5 feet tall.
back to the top of Ohio Wesleyan's lineup is Ashley Day in the batter's box now. Locke's first pitch thrown out to her is a strike. Day taking instructions from her third base coach. High pitch thrown out by Locke. Be 1-1 now.
The Bulldog catcher today, Brandt, has done a pretty solid job of grabbing that ball when it comes toward her and throwing it right back to our pitcher.
She really does a good job positioning herself well, too, behind the plate.
Yep, you can tell these two have definitely worked together before and that she can read the pitches pretty well and she knows right where to go, right when they're coming at her. That is a swing and miss for number 1 from Ohio Wesleyan. And she is struck out.
I was just talking about positioning herself. Brandt positioned herself perfectly for that pitch. Made Day swing at it. And got her out, so now 2 outs at the top of the 5th here.
And number 15 just gets a piece of that, but luckily our number 4 made it to first and got her out. So we are now moving in to the second half of the 5th inning.
A great snag there by Carissa DeVore at first base to get that 3rd out. And the Bulldogs have just been great defensively tonight so far in this game.
You can tell that they are really working together, and they must have had a successful spring trip because I think they've come out of it as a team, and you can really see the cohesive playing out on the field today.
I definitely have to agree with that. It's great to see their support for each other here as they keep picking each other up and congratulating Locke on all her great pitches here so far tonight.
Morale is definitely high, and the girls are definitely excited for the day, even though it is extremely gloomy here in Adrian, Michigan. But they are not letting that get them down.
Hinojosa will be leading off this bottom of the fifth. Hinojosa looks like she always has a smile on her face, which is great to see as she clearly loves this game.
Definitely a team player, and you can tell that she's definitely a leader on the team. She is an elementary education major, and hopefully she'll bring that attitude into the classroom with her as she graduates this year and moves on into the real world.
Flint throws the first strike of this inning. Looked like it was a little close there, but strike called nonetheless by the umpire. And Hinojosa gets a piece of that, but it goes foul, making the count now 0-2 for her.
And she hits it, and it is thrown to first, and unfortunately the ball beat her just by a bit. She's out at first.
Shortstop number 4, Amanda Boyle, made the grab off that and got it to first, unfortunately for the Bulldogs. With Morgan Brandt up to bat now, the catcher here for the Bulldogs.
Brandt gets a piece of it, and it's thrown to first, and she is out at first, unfortunately. It looked like she was going to be safe there for a minute, but the ball just beat her, and the called it out.
Good athleticism, though, by number 24, Cassie Ladina, who is now at first base, as she made a stretch catch there to catch that ball to get her out.
And that is a strike thrown by Ohio Wesleyan pitcher number 20.
And it is Cursa DeVore back at bat again, who hit the first home run of the game.
And she just taps it just enough. Let's see if she can make it to first. And unfortunately, that is the third out at first. And we are now rolling into the top of the sixth.
Bulldogs still leading 4-0 here, going into the sixth inning. And as we've said, Locke doing an outstanding job here. And of course, Locke getting the help of her catcher, Morgan Brandt. And them together have been doing a fantastic job in this afternoon game. It looks like number 20, Sarah Flint, will be the first batter of this bottom of the fifth, or excuse me, top of the sixth here for Ohio Wesleyan. She was just pitching, but she'll be batting now.
The team always does it seems like they have a ritual where they meet there at the pitching square, and I don't know what they do, but they build morale, and they probably move into this inning with confidence, it seems like. And that is a strike thrown for the first throw of the sixth inning. And it looks like that is an out for the number 20 of Ohio Wesleyan. She just missed the ball and she ran for it to first, and they got her out there.
Now batting for Ohio Wesleyan is the catcher, Aaron Ferguson. Locke pitches a fast one down for a strike on Ferguson.
And the look on her face when she threw that strike, you can tell that she's excited. She's pumped up. She knew that she did a good job there. Her confidence is quite high right now.
Another hard throw there by her and a big swing and a miss by Ferguson. Ferguson has to one as it goes over her head, making the count now 1-2. Already one out here in the top of the 6th inning. No one on base. That ball almost hits Ferguson, but she jumps out of the way. Count now 2-2 to Ferguson.
Let's see if our number 29 can get her rhythm back and throw out another strike.
Wow.
And she does. A beautiful pitch there by Locke, getting the second out of the top of the 6th inning.
We're moving on to the next player up to bat for Ohio Wesleyan. It is number 5, Taylor Dixon, a sophomore from Baltimore, Ohio.
And strike one thrown by Locke there on Dixon.
Locke is not wasting any time in this inning. She is getting right down to business and just throwing strikes like crazy.
1-1 now the count to Dixon. 2 outs. No one on base here in the top of the 6th inning.
And another strike is thrown by Locke. And number 5 gets a piece of it.
Goes right through the legs of Taylor Vantland at third base.
And number 5 picks it up and throws it to Hinojosa. And unfortunately, it cannot make it to first base to get her out. We have an Ohio Wesleyan battling Bishop on first base.
Number 12 now up for the battling Bishops. Lily Gresh here with 2 outs and 1 on. She hits a hard foul ball over the home dugout and the press boxes here, taking her first strike.
I believe I just heard that hit something behind us. Hopefully that's not someone's car.
Count now stands at 1-1 to number 12 for Ohio Wesleyan.
It's a hard swing and a miss for number 12.
Looks like that ball just got away from Locke, and it will be a ball thrown. Count now 2-2. Looked to be right down the middle. Maybe the umpire thought it was a little bit too high there, making the count now 3-2, with the full count to Gresh.
Let's see what Gresh will do to this. And she hits it. It is far into the outfield, and it is caught by number 5. And that will wrap up the bottom of the 6th inning here. Moving into the 7th inning. Moving into the bottom of the 6th inning, that'll wrap up the top of the 6th.
Home team bats at the bottom.
Number 5, Caitlin Schneider, has made quite a few successful plays this game.
people watching this.
Flint still taking the mound here for Ohio Wesleyan at the bottom of the sixth. And it looks like number 19, Greco, will be up for the Bulldogs to lead off this bottom of the sixth inning. As Flint just throws a warm-up that goes really far away from Ferguson, excuse me. But now Greco taking the batter's box, getting ready to start out this bottom of the sixth inning. Bulldogs leading 4-0 here. They've been playing outstanding this whole game so far.
Greco hits it hard, but unfortunately it fouls out right past the visitor's dugout. Hopefully she'll apply that power and we'll get her on base here.
She just needs to straighten that out a little bit, and that would be a great hit for Greco.
Is it 200 right field too?
Count now stands 2-1 to Greco. Good eye by her to let those two balls go.
And that is a strike thrown by number 20, bringing the count to 2-2. And she takes a whack at it, but unfortunately it is a foul ball right again past the visitor's dugout.
Greco has quite the powerful swing. Once again, just needs to straighten those out, and she'll have a good-looking hit there.
We could have a home run in our hands.
Another foul ball for Greco. Count still stands at 2-2 here.
Even up here in the press box, we can hear the direct contact she's getting with that ball. Very powerful. And that is a far hit foul ball. Looks like it just missed a Chevy Silverado.
Definitely dangerous to have your cars out there today, as the Bulldogs are hitting very well.
And she hits it, and it is safe, and we have an outfielder chasing after it as she approaches second here. And she's safe at second base.
Good double there by Greco. A powerful hit for her. With 0 outs, Greco's on second base.
Greco battled it out there, and it paid off for her.
And here's number 2, Taylor Vantland, now batting for the Bulldogs, with Greco placed at second.
And she takes a hard swing at it. The ball right down the middle, and she strikes out.
Head coach Anna Ball is taking some time to talk to Vantland here before she gets ready for her next at-bat.
Anna Ball was with her last team since 2011, their coaching position. Ironically, it was a Wesleyan team as well. It was Southern Wesleyan in Central South Carolina.
Taylor Vantland's ready for her batting now as she gets ready to step into the batter's box.
She swings, and it goes right to number 5 from Ohio Wesleyan, and she is out.
The ball actually did go foul there.
Oh,
They're
I'm sorry.
calling.
Yep.
That would have been an out for Vantland, but luckily for her, it just hit foul.
See if she can take this opportunity and get on base. And she tries to run and steal first, and unfortunately, she's just not there quick enough. Greco is still planted at second there.
That was the first out for the Bulldogs in this inning, with Kelsey Meyer up to bat now, 1 out, and Greco still placed at second.
Kelsey Meyer was a power hitter last year for the Bulldogs. Let's see if she can take that and advance Greco, possibly even home.
She hits her second foul ball of this at bat for her, making the count 0-2 to Meyer. Third foul ball for Meyer. Count staying at 0-2.
And that is yet another foul ball for Meyer. In the same spot every single time, right past the visitors' dugout.
First ball of this at-bat to Meyer.
Greco looked like she was going to maybe try for third, but thought maybe she'd rather play safe than sorry. And Meyer hits it hard. Is it out? It is out of the park, past the scoreboard. And we have Greco scoring and Meyer rounding third and coming into home.
What a hit by Meyer.
That
Third home run of the Bulldogs so far.
phenomenal hit by Meyer. Went
The only way they've scored.
so far past the scoreboard. That is the only way the Bulldogs have scored today. Not the only way, but they are monopolizing on all of the home runs today.
Third home run hit so far, and that is Kelsey Meyer's second home run of the season. We had one hit by the Bulldogs that brought in Sarch that was not a home run, but other than that, that's how the Bulldogs have scored so far. Strike one delivered to number 1 for the Bulldogs, Brooke Stewart. 1 out for the Bulldogs, no one on base after that home run by Meyer. Ball to Stewart. Count at 1-1. Second ball delivered by Flint. Bulldogs definitely giving Flint a hard time this game. And Stewart has to get away from that one to make sure it does not hit herself.
Stewart is also an elementary education major. And her favorite athletes are Justin Verlander and Jenny Finch.
Not surprising, as Stewart is also sometimes a pitcher herself.
Yes, actually, in high school, her junior year, she did pitch a perfect game, so impressive resume here. And she walks to first.
So Stewart will take first base. Is up for the Bulldogs, 1 out. Stewart on first. And the Bulldogs leading 6-0 so far. Schneider is safe at first after number 24 for Ohio Wesleyan, Cassie Ladina, misses that one at first.
Fortunately, our number 1 Bulldog here was out at third base. She just barely was out. She slid in right as the ball was coming in, and the umpire called it out. That leaves 1 Bulldog on base.
So now 2 outs here. Sarch up to bat.
And she power hits it.
It looks like the sun is trying to come out here today, Jocelyn, on this gloomy day at the Adrian College softball field.
Yes, the overcast is quite depressing. However, our Bulldogs aren't letting that bother them. We have a Bulldog on first and a Bulldog on second. And Caitlin Hinojosa is currently at bat.
Strike thrown to her. Little questionable there, as Hinojosa had to get out of the way.
And that, the umpire called that a strike as well. It seemed pretty far out to me, but, you know, it's the umpire's call, and that's the second out for Hinojosa. And she is out at first base there.
Almost got safe there, as number 5 Taylor Dixon was not able to catch that ball, but unfortunately Hinojosa did not make it in time. With 2 left on base that inning for the Bulldogs, Locke takes the mound for the 7th inning as we get ready here with the Bulldogs leading 6-0.
We have number 21 for Ohio Wesleyan up to bat here, Jessica Gooden. She's a junior infielder from Lexington, Ohio.
And Locke throws out the first strike of the top of the 7th.
And a swing and a miss for number 21 here.
And Caitlin Locke has the same last name as one of my favorite pitchers for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Jeff Locke. However, there's no E at the end of her name, like Jeff Locke's name.
Unfortunately, Ellen has questionable team favorites, so we're just going to put that aside for now, Ellen.
Actually, an interesting article. An ESPN analyst has slated the Pittsburgh Pirates to win the World Series this year.
Okay.
So,
well, I will have to believe it when I see it, Ellen. I will believe it when I see it.
I hope so. That'd be a great thing for Pittsburgh and the Pirates.
And that is it for our number 21 Ohio Wesleyan, as number 7 steps up to base. Phoebe Bush, an outfielder, freshman from Poland, Ohio.
Great strikeout thrown once again by Locke. Another strike thrown by her to start off number 7, Phoebe Bush.
And another strike for Phoebe Bush, a swing and a miss.
Count 0-2 to Bush now. No one on base for Ohio Wesleyan and 1 out.
And
Another
a swing and a miss. And she turns right back around. Let's see. We have number 4 up to bat here, Amanda Boyle. She hails right from the Canadian and U.S. border in Niagara Falls, New York.
There it is. There's the sun.
And Ellen was right. There comes the sun for one brief moment here at the AC softball field. Let's see if it'll stick around to see out this win for our Adrian Bulldogs.
Boyle getting the 1-1 count here for her. As a strike is thrown down, she swings at it,
Talk about how we're gonna do the next one.
making it 1-2, 2 outs here. And for all the updated information for their second game tonight, stay tuned to Adrian Bulldogs' Twitter page for all the recent updates, as we will be heading over to Arrington Ice Arena here soon to set up for the NCAA quarterfinal game between the Adrian College Bulldogs and the Oswego State Lakers.
Boyle is safe on first as number 1, Ashley Day, steps up to bat.
This guy's all.
A ball thrown by Locke, as it looked like it went from our point of view right down the middle of the plate, but umpire calls a ball.
I was just going to say that Ellen looked pretty clear right down the middle to me, but
Another ball thrown by Locke here, making Day's count 2-0. 2 outs with an Ohio Wesleyan battling Bishop on first base.
and it is a far hit for number 1, just missed by our number 5 outfielder, Caitlin Schneider.
So Boyle runs home for Ohio Wesleyan, getting them on the board here tonight, with Day taking second base. Still 2 outs here for Ohio Wesleyan, with number 15 up to bat, Chelsea Denman, as their coach calls them over to talk to Day and Denman. And Anna Ball goes to the pitcher's mound to talk to her infielders.
Anna Ball, you can see, is trying to keep the momentum going. We're just, a few short throws from taking this game today at the AC softball field. Let's see if our number 29 can finish it out.
Locke gets ready to pitch to Denman. And the first pitch to Denman is a ball. Day was getting ready to take off from second, but has to go back. Excuse me, that was a strike to Denman.
And Denman hits the ball. Hits it right to the boards. Almost a home run, but not quite.
However, Day does run home for Ohio Wesleyan, making the score now 6-2. But the Bulldogs just need one more out here, as pitcher Sarah Flint is up for Ohio Wesleyan.
With Denman on second, let's see what Flint can do here. And she hits a foul ball directly to the visitors' dugout.
Both the Bulldogs and Ohio Wesleyan each have one error on the afternoon so far. A ball thrown to Flint, making her count 1-1.
And yet another foul ball, this time to right over the home dugout.
Flint's count now 1-2 with an Ohio Wesleyan on second base. And Locke strikes her out to end the top of the 7th inning.
It was a great performance there by Locke. She played quite the game, and it was a successful game, I think, for the Adrian College women's softball team.
Yes, especially as we know they lost to this Ohio Wesleyan team last year, but was able to beat them in this first game 6-2, with the Ohio Wesleyan battling Bishops trying to battle back in that top of the 7th inning. However, the Bulldogs made sure they were not able to do so. And as we said earlier, stay tuned to the Adrian Bulldogs Twitter page for updates on their second game of the afternoon. And make sure you tune into ACTV tonight at 7 p.m. from Arrington Ice Arena.
And don't forget to watch out for the AC softball team as they take on Defiance on March 23rd.
On to Monday, but that'll do it for us here from the Adrian College softball field. I'm Ellen Stanton alongside Jocelyn Hatfield. Make sure you tune in tonight to the NCAA quarterfinal game.